Let me check in with travels in West Coast Africa, Congo Francais and the like, where we're getting in. We're doing a chapter on trade and basically exploitation of resources in Africa, which very much so. Uh, Kingsley just takes it for granted. This is stuff that's to be taken. This is stuff to be exploited. This is stuff where we've set up governments. We've set up governments here that kind of big government men. We're going to construct. Are we going to construct railways? Are we going to construct you know exploit rivers as ways of transporting goods? Because this is all about how can we make the most money off of goods, and saying like, oh, how the British are doing a good job in the rivers, and like, how are we going to get railways going here? This is the snatch for land. It's also kind of interesting to note we're in the late 1890s, and you can definitely see it's like, well, the English are there and the Germans are there, and those are like the two competing lines. They've sort of divvied things up so they don't actually compete with each other. Um, you know, you wouldn't want competition there. This is something that's obviously has been worked out between Germany and England and has nothing to do with any of the local peoples there. So um, this is sort of a different side. This is the I'm accepting that colonialism is here. It's a fact of life, and there's no question that we're going to exploit these resources. We're going to exploit these people of their resources. They're going to give it to us. We're going to give them a small amount of money, and then we're going to sell it on for a lot of money back in our home countries and use it to power our industry. Um, so yeah, there is that. It's just like it's interesting to have, like, after kind of her being fascinated by the culture and looking down on it in a lot of ways. Some ways just like, just interacting very genuinely with people or interacting very genuinely with like kind of the nature around her. We are getting a chapter which is very much commerce. How are we exploiting this? And of course we're exploiting this. It's just it's the given. There is no question there in Mary Mary Henrietta Manley's mind about that, which I guess is not surprising, and not surprising when you think about who the audience that she's reflecting this back on is the audience at home, of which are people who are either sending their sons out to work for these companies or own these companies, and are standing to make huge amounts of profit from it. That's the hope. That's the hope. You're if you go out there, you're spinning the wheel. You're gonna die of typhus, or are you gonna come back a super wealthy person, if at all? All right, I'll leave it there. More videos later. Oh, and this is me. Uh, this is, yes, chapter 21, trade and labor in West Africa. And so far we're in trade. We're not at the labor part yet. All right, more videos later.